It's Leo the Lop, Tail 2. Tail. See, they're playing on the word tail. This is tail like at the bottom, the back end of a bunny, versus a tail, T-A-L-E, the story. Here we go. In the midst of twilight wonder, when evening shadows gently glide from branch to branch, all of the creatures of the forest softly began to fall asleep. There they are, softly beginning to fall asleep. All the birds, and then the squirrels. Woo! Squirrels doze, warmly wrapped in their soft furry tails. Fawns, exhausted after frolicking in the meadows, sleep contentedly, nestled near their parents. Birds of all feathers nod gently on the branches of the trees, eyes blinking, hoping to dream of beautiful flight. See, there's the fawn with the mother. There's the birds. In a burrow beneath a twisted pine, fluffy bunnies of all sorts snore and sniff quietly in their slumber. All of the rabbits, that is, except one lop-eared rabbit called Leo, who just couldn't fall asleep. He would twitch and pitch, trying desperately to fall asleep, but no matter how he tried, he couldn't forget the one thing that kept him awake. He was a tiny, cute rabbit. "Why couldn't I have been born a tough tiger?" he muttered, as he rolled over for the 100th time. "A bad bear, a mean muskrat, anything but an itty-bitty fluffy bunny." Finally, with a sob, Leo rolled over and fell into a troubled sleep. There they are in the burrow, and there's Leo, still awake. It seemed to Leo that he had been dreaming for just a moment when, like at the crash of a cymbal, the sun brought the beginning of a new day. He slowly rubbed the sleep from his eyes, yawned once, stretched twice, and finally tumbled from his soft bed of moss. "Oh, what am I going to do?" he mumbled as he looked into the mirror. "I don't want to be cute anymore. I want to be rough and rugged and brave." With that, he squinted his eyes. Can you squint your eyes? Squint your eyes. Scrunched his nose and looked just as tough as he could. Look as tough as you can. Go. "Urgh." Satisfied that he didn't look quite as cute, Leo brushed his teeth and hurried off to creature school. And there he goes. Oh, look how tough he looks. It's the teeth. Those are what would bother me. Leo ran just as fast as his little legs would carry him through the twisted trail until he reached the clearing in the wood that served as the classroom. As usual, he was just a little bit late. As he hurried to sit down, the squirrels giggled, the birds twittered, and all the creatures smiled because Leo was still trying to look rough and tough and mean. All the creatures were laughing, except for the old brown owl who sat on a branch at the head of the class. There's the old brown owl. Look, there's Leo. "Ahem," muttered the old owl as he covered a smile. "Now that everyone is here, we'll begin the lesson for today. I would like each of you to think of a word that best describes the way you look this morning." All the creatures thought and thought. Then one by one they each stood and told the old owl the word that had been thought of. "We look feathery," chirped the birds. "I look brawny," rumbled the bear, and on they went, describing how they felt in a single word. They finally came to Leo. Leo took a deep breath, looked carefully about him, and then blurted out quickly, "I look brave." Does he look brave? He looks like a cute little bunny. There was a moment of silence, then the forest glade rang with laughter. Even the owl couldn't hide his smile. I don't see anything funny about me being brave," cried a very hurt and angry Leo. "Whoa, Leo," the old owl chuckled. "Perhaps fluffy or cute would have better described how you look." Leo wiped a furry tear as he shouted, "I don't want to be fluffy or little anymore. I want to be tough and rugged." Once again, all the creatures broke into fits of laughter. Leo stood for just a moment, tears streaming from his eyes, and then rushed into the forest. There he goes. Do you see the tear? And they're all laughing. Look at them laughing. He wandered the forest for hours and hours. What do I have to do? He said to himself. Maybe if I shave off all my fur or lifted weights or something. Leo gazed into the calm waters of a stream and made ugly, tough faces, but even these couldn't make him forget the words cute and fluffy. So he kept wandering farther and farther into the forest. There he goes. He looks so sad. As the other creatures, frisked about the forest glade, doing their daily chores, a wisp of smoke snaked about the boughs of a tree and climbed toward the sky. A gray squirrel sat on his haunches, sniffing. Can you do a squirrel sniff? Go. Sniffing at the afternoon air.
I smell smoke, but it's probably just a campfire,
he thought as he continued on his way. By dusk, though, the wisps of smoke had turned into billowing clouds. Suddenly, all around the clearing, flames shot high into the air. There's the smoke. See the squirrel sniffing it? That would be scary. All of the creatures began running about, packing up their nests, dashing here and there in absolute pandemonium. Fire! Fire! They all shouted. The old brown owl fluttered to the ground and in the center of the glade and shouted, "Now, everyone, just slow down and don't panic." The animals gathered around as the owl continued. "We must all be as calm as possible or someone will get hurt. Now, is everyone here?" They all looked around and then someone shouted,
"Yes, it looks like we're all here. All of us, that is, except that little rabbit, Leo."
The owl thought for a moment and then said, "We'll just have to hope that he's outside the fire area. Now we must leave and move to safety." And they all looked about the clearing, but the smoke was so thick that no one could see which way to go. There they are in the center of the glade. Oh my goodness, what will they do? Leo had been moping at the far edge of the forest when he first saw the columns of smoke. "Oh no," he said, "that fire looks like it's burning right in the middle of the clearing where I live." He wondered for a moment about what he should do. Then he rushed off towards the fire. He ran and ran until he ran out of breath, and then he ran some more. And finally he reached the edge of the smoke and the flames that enclosed the clearing where he lived. And to his dismay, he could find none of his friends. "Oh dear," he thought, "they must be trapped inside." Without a second thought for his own safety, he crouched real low to the ground. That way his head's between the smoke and the ground. And he began to follow the path into the clearing through the thick gray smoke. There goes Leo. Brave Leo. Leo finally reached the center of the clearing where all the creatures were searching for a way out of the inferno. "Quick!" shouted Leo. "Everybody hold hands and follow me." Leo looked so sure of himself and so unafraid that everyone followed him without question, and they were led carefully through the heavy smoke and towards safety. There's that brave Leo. Finally, they reached the safety of a hill on the far side of the forest away from the fire. All the animals gathered around Leo, cheering and shouting. "Well," said the owl, "I certainly was wrong about you and your chosen word, for today you were certainly brave." "No," said Leo, blushing deeply. "If it had not been for the fact that I was small, I would never have been low enough to the ground to see the trail into the clearing. I guess being cute and furry doesn't mean you can't be brave." With that, the other animals cheered Leo. "Yay, Leo the brave! Leo the lion-hearted!" And they continued their cheering far into the night. Leo the brave, Leo the lion-hearted. So, if you're cute and furry, or even if you're not, remember Leo the lion-hearted and the lesson that he got. There he is. And there was that little poem at the end right there. Can you see it? Okay. Well, that's it for Leo the Lop-Tail 2. There's a third one, and I'll read that one next week. Until then, bye.